메도다 르라리제니데 템바 산제 천조메데 보아에
조근남다시
아제바 쇼예당 고르라나
멘탈
나고니야다야 미세 오야다 다다 중국도 가서 중국대 비즈도 既然给帮助原点托面其中如对比采集按土蒙的让我那样按你那边采集当等住马样是我让给他原点他说的那让给帮助原点托面其如对比采集土蒙为让我了按你那边采集的等住马那样 大朝鲜人们是两个的了，没得没把水浆大土把起当，但那起了没些，但把原来过去比趁你忙的的开始话过来是呢，他就是就去了，可我来把它产呢，开了路不等我系统，就是说呢，两个了怎么行？你这希望你希望你唱完个我过过来。
So then, at the end of that page that we were just reading from, this is 134 in Kyutsong Rinpoche's Zinji, it says that in general, depending on the level of the qualities of abandonment and realization that one wishes to attain, that according to that measure, then the characteristics and the way in which one serves and depends upon virtuous friend and the way in which the virtuous friend appears, the guru appears in this from the perspective of his or her ordinary appearance. There's a lot of different modes of appearance and modes of serving and relying upon a guru. But in terms of this particular path here, which is in reference then again to the special practice of Mahamudra, there are certain minimal requirements that are indispensable, and here they're presented such that anyone is able to understand them, to investigate them. And then likewise, if one relies upon the guru in the proper way, serves and relies upon the guru, one will quickly attain the blessing empowerment of that guru. And if you are a person who does that properly, so if the sort of minimal requirements here, minimal characteristics for the guru in this context, are that they have to be someone who has properly gained a proper understanding of the system of Dharma as it pertains to the three types of beings, in the Lamrim, and such a person, having understood that, has to have that fixed in the innermost part of their mind. So that's one requirement. And then likewise, such a guru must, having gone for refuge, be extremely conscientious with respect to karmic causality, and in addition have great compassion. So these characteristics have to be complete within the guru.
Oh yeah. 天这位参与参与那么天，俺那罗马的电子样，以前那么大个，俺家看说了，以前那么大个国呢，俺那结娃看记住当，没结娃就看，基本给俺那当年是1,600,000人，是1,600,000人，
Then likewise, with respect to the way in which you serve or rely upon such a guru, here you have to have a pure, perfect kind of confidence and trust in the guru, and with that, you do whatever you can to that delights the guru, and whatever displeases the guru, you do that. You avoid that as much as possible, and then in that way, you don't leave things that either please the guru or displease the guru as a matter of indifference. You don't just leave them alone and not pay attention to them.
Oh yeah, 대다 출신도 배배 로마틱 라마 댄주 수신도 다 공도 잡아는 수신도 베베 천년지 라마티 투 캔비 생활 로마티 아니 다단디 로만디 아랑기 뉴발라 빵빠베 아니 신이 된주거는 삼바다 저와 강산에 내 하바치 차단 민도 냠도 투 제바 킹바나 아니 다 군조기 람 군조지 라미나마를 좋아지 좋아래
Then, if by striving at that way of properly striving in that way to rely upon and serve the virtuous friend in that way, then that within the perspective of that and understanding of that guru who has those qualifications, then they'll be delighted, and they'll think that now for the moment this disciple is the guru will realize the capability of the disciple in this context, and recognize that according to the ability of this disciple, they're doing whatever they can in terms of the way they're thinking, and as likewise in their behavior, to engage in this kind of practice of serving and relying upon the spiritual friend. And at the moment, as it exists right now within their capacity, they don't have, they're not able to do any more than they're doing, and so that with that recognition, then the Lama will be extremely delighted. Their mind will be filled with delight, and then this itself is the arriving at the authentic condition of the phenomenal guru.
Oh yeah, tendawi ane kunjobi ane kasore de tendawa de ta kunjobi la minama la jawa yinse kunjobi la nanjo la minanjo ondo mason bala ane tenda binanjo yonda meba.
So this again is itself. It's called the Guru Yoga in Sanskrit, or Lame Neljor in Tibetan, and the last part of this, the yoga part of it, is glossed as arriving at this genuine, authentic condition of the guru. And here we're talking about the phenomenal guru, the conventional guru, and without doing that initially, then there's absolutely no way to engage in or accomplish the ultimate form of this yoga.
Oh, Sanjay Tamyaja, Marji Lama Tiki Rashila Mindawaki, Anita, turned and been Nanjoti on the Yomaris. Oh, that tender in town, that ten and dark Kasore Lama, Anita Kas, Ani Javu Sone, that ten March, Anita Stone at Chaguari. Ten large they don't aim about that city Beijing. And then Namji and a castle a chet which do that until we started at them do some songo to that any Tao Yage or large they don't aim about Jevikana and a gogi and a Jevikana Teneta to Modesto and I said any all a mason to the castle. Gelug de nana de namana ani laje de don yon bala so wanam she gelug de da sa tamni ani gelug de da ge da dui chi do an ta dan de dan di number de be shi do ka de che nyam do ani za wi la mala de ge che me wo de do wa za wi la mala o ja da ya ge shi gelug sa ta gelug sa tamne gelug de ja ge jang da dui chi do ta da de dan di da bi ani number de be shi do ka de che nyam do ani za wi la mala 대그 참여받당 아니 자전거 남지는 바디 텐드니에 와고 아니 dim바 슈차버 아니 이바 레바 쩨데 아니 토마 점도 섬지 참여 심화차거래
So then, this then, again, we've described in the conventional Guru Yoga, and without doing this initially, there's no way at all to actualize the ultimate Guru Yoga. This is explained likewise in many sutras and tantras. The Buddhists have explained this. And then after that, this point, this is identified the object of refuge above. And then after that, comes the actual request to the object of refuge. And here then, in terms of the way one does the visualization, there are alternative forms. For example, in the, as it explained in the Guru Puja text, the worship of the Guru text, that begins with indivisible bliss and emptiness. So that combines into the real meaning of all of this into a single form. And then there's another form of the visualization which is given here, but in any case, once one has done the visualization, then one should immediately following that, so once one's done the visualization, immediately after that, one should recall one's own root guru and think that this being this lama or guru is praised as the most highly praised as the supreme for by all of the Buddhas and the children of the Buddhas, bodhisattvas. They have praised this guru as the supreme being for taming someone such as myself. And since this lama has, in order to tame me, to train and tame me, appears right now in exactly this form, is displaying this form for my benefit. This guru is being extremely kind to me. One thinks that, and then with that thought, one has a limitless faith and respect for one's root guru, and then with this, with one's mind strongly driven by extremely fierce, powerful aspiration to engage in the stages of the path, in particular this path of Mahamudra. Then one goes for refuge, goes for refuge, develops bodhicitta, and develops these, the four limitless attitudes.
Oh yeah, that didn't jump to some chair, that Lama Chobar, jump to some chair, the Ma, Sungo have it. That Lama Chobala, and the Jamdo Tila, Raga Kisi Chimbian Anila, Tata Kanya, Magasam Jana, Tina City, Chanju, but Lama Kunjosona just to draw, say, jump to 60. Deal, they that, and it just to draw a la, so I need to use Sata. Ane thei che la ane jamdo jasu drawa ke jule wa sa tamne jamdo chigo wa yin da ja yu sa da de la lavrin de lam la sumba na shin chen ne da nam ju nga ra zo jo ga sa tin yen la ko de lavrin de lam la sumba de sa da de wa de yin da rang ge ji the jang ge nang ge ne su ane 생기셔보 제지집 림보지 치통지 양비 때가 나서 받다니 미중고지 때라 어 아니 뭐 랑게 체제 자유에 남아 임바라 남바 자와샤자 투바 군도 세자마다고 우주도 단단바 예산년다 양자게 되는 뒤적가면 무슨 아니 남바 꾸려 최고 어미게 도체선 소신 천배전비 당사르지랑 시제 꾸려지 여기 풍부이나 자민도 지몽 이런 거 좋아 지가라 저 알라마 자와샤자 투베 아니 남바전도 안에 사대베 대체 야 예 저기 거대
저기도 저기고 디스크서 라치기고 말해
라주기 고라티 요 말해 라치라마 좀 대화 될 요래 그래
더블 자기 시럽기 그래서 No, it's that Rinpoche said,
남중아도 동구이와
no.
대나시래
Yeah, it's before what he, okay. So now then, before one does that, one has to do the right kind of visualization. So in the context of the Guru Puja, the worship of the Guru, there's the lines that say, that begin, from the state of an exalted, virtuous mind, I and all mother sentient beings, and so forth. That's the second verse in the version of it that's given in the book here. But as far as the visualization, there are different ways of doing the visualization, and we can do it as it's explained in the visualization of the objects of refuge in the preparatory practices form of the ritual. And here in the translation it says that in the space at eye level before me is a throne both lofty and glorious, made of all precious gems. Above and below it is protected by lions, 2 at each corner to watch high and low. On top of this throne is a mandala seat of lotus in full bloom, the moon and the sun. Seated upon it is my holy root Guru, you who are always so gracious and kind. In outward appearance you are Buddha Shakyamuni. Your body is the hue of refined polished gold with crowning Ushnisha, 1 head and 2 arms, your right hand outstretched towards the earth underneath, with your left in your lap, calmly holding a begging bowl filled with the 3 nectars, and adorned with all 112 marks of a Buddha. You are wearing a monk's robes and are saffron in color. Your legs are both crossed in the Vajra position. You sit in a bright cloud of clear rays of light. And then it continues like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Same way? Same thing? Yeah. Okay. No, but
다들 뭐 내가 리컬라 제 요르와 남지 저저 가서 이제 고대 요르 남지 대한 전화서 예산에 임샤 그잖아 고려지 예지 부모는 샤미도 지중 쇼와 세가라 아니 저 아니我直接在于那么引把那么叫我下家图跟那么钱都关第二季타고 동거단 집에 남아 있다 산재 차서 빠오고 저 최소 선비 소지 권에 쇼와 세가 타고도 이해서 주지 참바라 아니 자지 주지 그 남아는 좋고와 얘도 주지 잠배양라 안에 사무다 주그 남아는 좋고와 야도 아는 도체 차나냐리 칠랍 주지 남아는 좋고와 두두랑 그 천정원도지 안에 남아 안나 제체 남아대 땡아도 체 타고 정어단 집이 라마 이담 되네 아니 이담 주디시 라메 아니 나저지 아니 가서래 자주 되는 마 제가 아니 산재 차서 빠고 가도 최소선 몇 손나 조건나 쉬어봐 사답체 나
So then the rest of the visualization continues saying, seated around you are all my own gurus and those of the lineage as well as my yidams, chosen deities. You Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma protectors are seated here also. So that then describes in brief then the way you do this visualization. You consider the Buddha Shakyamuni as being your own root guru, and then to Buddha Shakyamuni's right is Lord Maitreya, and all of the gurus of the lineage of the vast instruction, vast practice lineage. And then to the left is Manjughosha and all of the other gurus of the profound view lineage. And then behind is Lord Vajradhara, together with all of the masters of the what is that? So yeah, the lineage of the profound blessings, empowering blessings, and then in front are your own, the lineage of your own kind gurus, down to and including your present gurus, and so all of them are seated there, and then surrounding them as well are, and then in in the tree upon which Lord Buddha Shakyamuni is seated. Then there are all of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the different chosen deities of the 4 classes of Tantra. There's the unexcelled Yoga Tantra, Charya Tantra, and Kriya Tantra deities, and all of the protectors, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors.
Oh, yeah, that is probably said, Gorni. And Chijoso Mitonamji gone so you go was. Tadara get into the Dendripism so Rarang Sumbi Lungichana, Yoji, you put in number Yoba, Sega, the Lama Tadaki, Ani Duna, Ani Chuji, Rarang, Ani Chuji tree, Pisum Sawala, Ani Mo, Lama Rarang, Tuji, Ani Golanji, Pandoji, and then Yimbala. And then number Chipudi number Yoba, and there Sedan Randa Droshimba. Asa Devetera, Tedara Rangutina, Dendi Prism Saw, Rangusum, Lunguchana, Yoji Rashi, Putin number Yoba, teacher.
So then also placed in front of all of these assembled gurus and Buddhas and so forth, are in front of them are excellent thrones, and upon these excellent thrones are all of the dharma that they've taught in the form of scriptural teachings. And these scriptural teachings have, they appear in the aspect of volumes which have a light nature, the nature of light. And so what one is visualizing there is that these volumes of text actually are radiant or of the nature of light. And what they represent is the appearance of the teachings that these beings have given, and in particularly the good qualities of the abandonments and actualizations that have been produced through the practice of these teachings.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Then you put in number Yoba, Choshin Namjang, Choshin Tedata, and a Ralabe, gave it number Tempa. Rangijang, and a Choshin Namju, Gudan Sundan, Tudan, and Tileji, and then that Tempicone, Choshinala. Choshin Ranila Jibucha, Ranija, Choshin Namji, and then down, Tuji, and then down, Kusuntuji, and then down, and a Tuji. The champion on it, and a taba champion on it, and a team on it, and a jam to justice as I body.
Then also, we think that this assembly field itself, all of the beings in it, are extremely delighted towards us. And we ourselves are also in a state of, through recollection of the good qualities of this assembly field, we're in a state of great faith. And so what this means is that by thinking about the various qualities of these beings, the qualities of their holy bodies, speech, mind, their activities, by reflecting upon them, then that engenders within us a great deal of faith.
Oh, Tinita, Jobs Joala, and a Chipotan Tapani go by Yenza, and a Jamdi Jutela, Koatang, a song with Juta Dunga and Tishi Japa Jutang. Tina and then, and a Chanju Sambala, and a Castle Resana, Sishi Jipala Japa Jutang. What go over in the tongue and do not Tishi Japa to share Tana, Tanata Masam Yatam, Tom Membana Tadi Padu. Chiruko the Chabang and Sonsum Jitunga, Nazo Basin, on to Senjang, say, Lanyaji Wang, Pumboji, Len Chijala, Korja Chendala, and Jaganachi Tungatang. And then son to Jeti Zambani, and a Charangoja Tunga, Madaba Inzang, the not that a Masam Yatam, Chiruko, the Chabang and Sonsum Jitunga, Nazo Basi, Yongo, Du Jang, Tadun Dunga Jitin, the Takawa, Du, say Dunga de la Tawaji. Dungaji Jumalobana, and a Dunga Metoba Yenzang, Tadu Dungaji Dudan, Dungaji Judan, Ding Takawa, do, Digi, any or Koatang, Koyu Dunga, Jishi Jabatang, and Songi Dunga, Jishi Japa, Digana, and Sishi Jibala Japa to San Matang.
So then the next line says that I and all sentient beings who have been my mothers, all of them from beginninglessly up until now have suffered within samsara, and in particularly we suffer the various sufferings of the three lower realms of existence. We're doing that right now. And still, it's impossible, or it's extremely difficult for us to measure the extent, the depth, and the extent of all of the sufferings that we're undergoing. And so we think, here we're thinking about both for ourselves and others, that is, as we said earlier, that in order to go for refuge, you have to have fear and you have to have faith. And on the side of fear, one has to have recognition and fear of all of the sufferings that we're involved with. And because here we're talking a Mahayana practice, we extend that to include the sufferings that are experienced by all sentient beings, not just ourselves.
Oh yeah, ane thare nyabakashi, yudan bedan dewi kona nyabaka, yo nyabakashi, nyena ane negadang, tadul dang, kajimare reshindo tenshawa, odirikan thare nyabakashi nyena tenjewe tanjoji mili chabajanto. ane jagawe sanjeji dambarin bochedan jayu jadudi. ane kowe dunga tada bangbagi, ane tabaji yangdaba zowe sanjeji koma toba majena. Tene da yang la yang ane lenyen yo de mabana lenyen ji wangi ane ko de wa yuba la yang ane kaso ko ta ba yang da ba zowe sanje ji ko ma ta ba ma ja na la ji ju ko wa da che bang a so sum ji dung a na zo ba xin yong ko wa du yeah.
So then it continues saying, but now I have taken a sound human body fully endowed with the 8 forms of leisure and the 10 circumstances conducive to Dharma, but such a sound body not easily gained when once obtained can be put to good use. So here this is referring then to this, again, recognition that at this moment of time, we've obtained this opportunity to practice, and it's a moment of opportunity that we've gotten just this one time. And here, under these circumstances, we are in a position, not only have we got a human body, but we've encountered the Dharma, and within that, we've encountered especially the Mahayana Dharma, and this kind of opportunity is exceedingly rare and difficult to attain.
Oh, yeah. 가서래. 사바지한도 다른 예바 그냥 자 단조지 자가 왜 산재 담보를 인버치다 저희 코유 동안 타다 밤에 타바지 양다바 조회 산재 요 공바치 타다니다 토 맞잖아. 라양 아니 지르 코와다 개방아 소숨제 동안 나서 봐시 용거와도 되나 아니 다 코야 동아다 내송그 동아다 시시지발에 좁이 니와데슬라 요아레 세나 안에 뒤나 슈바기 안라마 꾸졌습니다. 여바지 이십여 권에 안에 대난 가서 동아 대달라 끼니와 뒤나 시베 라마 꾸졌습니다. 여바 여배 다그 말씀제 탐제지 텐도 토잘라는 바양다바 조베 산제지 고마 토바 차 세가라 안에 랑기 토자 타 톱지 타도 제두기 잡 아니 어디랑그 톱자집에 제두기 잡대 언제 최대다 제대 다나나면 바양다바 조베 산제지 고마 토바 차 티시도 라마 꾸졌습니다. 계속 들어와 차오 세가라 아니 기도랭에 랭에 가지지 주나야 라마 꾸졌으면 라체 냠벽권에 아니 다 잠주치야 말에.
So then it says, and I have had the good fortune to have met with the Dharma whose presence is so rare to find, having attained these most favored conditions, if I do not work to achieve full enlightenment, surpassing nirvana and free from all pain, if I do not try to attain this right now, then again I shall have to experience the sufferings of samsara in general, and specifically those of the 3 lower states. Therefore, as the power to protect me from all these sufferings lies only within you, in your hands, O my Guru, and the 3 precious 3 jewels of refuge envisioned before me, I promise to strive for Buddhahood now so that I may be able to benefit fully all motherly sentient beings. And so for this purpose, I now go for refuge to you, Holy Guru, and the three precious jewels. Here, this is the way one is doing this, where it says that, where it refers to my own attainment of unexcelled true perfect awakening for the sake of all sentient beings. Then one is taking refuge in the resultant sense that we mentioned before, that the refuge there is your own attainment of full awakening. And then, yeah.
그래서 오야 다치 텐데에서 꾸는 저 강라 되네 지금뭐 예외이당 셈라냐와来了哟인바리 다 텐데 요 가서래 르마신도 안에 사다 명건게지나 안에 라가 계신 신병 아니 세례 계심 세대 다진 아시잖아요. 나는 뭐 양다바 쪽에 산재 그 chan주 톱들기다 그놈 차상하대 안에 라가 계심 신병 안에 세대 디네 거서 태양고고 말해.
So these words, and they're fairly extensive, and they serve as an excellent support to make it easy for us to give rise to this experience of refuge. And so reciting them in full like this is very helpful for giving rise to the experience of refuge. And then within that attitude or state, then one can also reflect upon the second verse of the Guru Puja as well. From the state of an exalted, white, virtuous mind, I and all mother sentient beings vast as space. For this moment until our enlightenment, go for refuge to the Gurus and the three precious gems.
Oh yeah, that didn't. 계속 점점 되네 들어가 계속 신병 안에는 다다 그냥 막에 생겨남 다다 막에 다 계속 조이 내가 라양 란당 랑그 딘도 자당 예수 파마다 연도 마당 안에 타고도 리주기 삼제 탐제 랑랑기 안에 동아지 나 신발라 타랑 고제 그 동아지 나 신발라 안에 넘버 마시 된거 봐미 넘버 아예바 매네 안에 다 점주치에 뒤에 내가지고 안에 사고기 동아지나 왜 삼제 탐제라 미비 인제 제주체비 점주라는 인서 고고 아래 스시 지발에 저 스시 지발에 안에 지발 스시 동아래 지바장 스바도 거기 시위 지발에 지자당 동아지나 왜 삼제라 미비 인제 와데 다 주천복이 점주그러면 야와도 고기 와인자 오다 디나가서 동아지나 왜 삼제 탄제라 미비 인제당 제대 너나 기도랭에 강 초양 안에 뒤나시 라마 군저서 뭐 체라냐 체냐면인데 안에 랑그 소자주의 안에 가서래 타두기 산제주 공부 톰대당 제대 다 유대 사유권 했더니 다다카냐 마게섬잖아 티네순데 차주님비 바르서 티네 나는 뭐 양다바 조베 산제지 차주 마도비 봐도 안에 라마 군저서다 접수 쪽이 스티앙 안에 잡던 바 산제 장외치 잡주비 안에 다조 군디스 소유권에 안에 그냥 군저서다 접수 줘야 바르
So then with that, with this visualization and saying these prayers, then we, as part of the visualization, in addition to the assembly field, we visualize surrounding us all of the sentient beings here as a means to enable us to have the recognition that they've all functioned as our mothers. We visualize them in human form. And on our right, we visualize our parents and all of our friends and so forth. On our left, we visualize all our enemies and so forth. And in front, various beings that we have no special relationship with or attitude towards, and encompassing the entirety of all sentient beings. And then with that recognition, we again think about the content of what was expressed in the prayer that we've just, the recitation that we've just read. That is, that think about all of the sufferings that these sentient beings have undergone in the past, that they right now are still suffering intensely from, especially from the sufferings of the lower realms of existence, but even in the human realm and the higher realms, suffering, aging, sickness, and death, and undergoing unhappiness of all of the different kinds that they experience. And then even beyond that, the danger of falling into a peaceful nirvana, which it prevents one from actualizing the state of perfection of Buddhahood. Think about out of a great deal of fear of suffering both for oneself and others, one's own suffering and others' suffering, and then we were doing that, expanding the scope of the suffering that we're developing fear towards and anxiety about from ourselves to others, because this is a Mahayana practice. And because it is Mahayana also, we have to have fear of falling into even a peaceful nirvana, because that would prevent us from actualizing perfect Buddhahood. So with that sort of attitude and that sort of visualization, with the thought that in order to, so that I may become an unexcelled, true, perfect Buddha, so as to free all of these mother sentient beings from all of their suffering, then I will go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha to achieve that.
Oh yeah. Dinita, Lama Kunjoson just a draw, say, I need just to draw it, Chila, I need. Oh, Namu Gurube, Namu Buddha, Namu Dhamma, Namu Sangha, China, Suna Triguari. Then my imba, Ani Lama just show us a Pegasuna Triguari. Then he is that Lama Re Cheni, Dizzy Pesanta Jet, Saya Indicala, Ani Jamdun, Nishutaji Chigiana, and Tambo, Namu Gurube Senare, and Chiche Denare, Lama just Chiche Denare, and Lama just show, Lama just show, Tajindi, just drove it Judang. Oh, that I just you are not saying some big one. I know you do it. Can it? Tirajina, Lama Kunjosum Cherana, Chen, Yambukana, and Lama like just to church, Lama like just to see, Serigalama, Sani. And it is, and it is a bit chatting, but
So then with that attitude of going for refuge to the Guru and the three jewels, from today until I achieve the essence of awakening, meaning Buddhahood, and for the sake of all sentient beings, making it then Mahayana type of refuge, then with that attitude as we've developed it and maintained that attitude of fear, concern for the sufferings of self and others, and faith in, as we described previously, how to generate faith in the Guru and the three jewels as the source of refuge. Then maintaining that, then we recite the formula, whether one says in the Lama Chipa practice, it's given in Sanskrit initially, Namo Gurubhya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. And in the Dorje practice, it's given in Tibetan, Lama La Kyabsuchiyo, Sangye La Kyabsuchiyo, Chur La Kyabsuchiyo, Genpan La Kyabsuchiyo. These formulas, you can recite them in either language or in English. And then as we do that and focusing on the specific refuge that's addressed, we do the visualization of the descent of light and nectar coming into it, flowing into us and purifying us.
Oh yeah. Ani just show say gana. Ani teachela. Ani so what just so ani dunji. Ani lama denga yu chi dang lama denga ki ani ku la du zhen na yu sa zhe yu yun pa arang dang ta go ge sen jie tam jie ju lu sem la xu bei to men na sa bei di zhi ta chi dang ani che ba do ban de lama ge ku la de wa dang sung jia ba dang tu zhu ba dang ani ma de nian me ji wa la so wa ge ani lama la den bi di zhi tam jie tu gu da so ge na ba an bi go da pa bi po ka tam jie ne 안에 취천제 당 취천제 상대 다바다 안에 류 당사 여지랑 신전도 주와 어디 취당신 다바데 안에 어디를 좀 하세요 아니 내가 이 말이다 근데다 천하선화 연대지 런도지 연대 폐화 제바티야 반대라면 고다 송당 안에 초지 치라 탐제 아랑시 섬제 탐제지 류선을 마 휴대 라시아 섬전도제 반달남이 저것도 수버 채소 양바기 뒤집어 찾혀야 임바래.
So then here, while one is doing this, when we're addressing the Lama, in particular the Guru, then we think that my Guru understands my condition, my situation. They understand all of the different experiences that I'm having, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant, and the Lama understands this. And then with that faith in the capacity of the Guru to provide refuge and the and fear of the sufferings of samsara, both for self and others, as we've described, then you say, I go for refuge I go to the Guru for refuge, or in either Sanskrit, Tibetan, or English. Then when one does that, one thinks that the visualization that we do here is in front of you. You visualized the Guru in these 5 sort of forms. The Guru's as the central figure, and then flanking the central figure, and in front and in back of the central figure. So the Guru is appearing in all of these different manifestations or forms. And then when you say, I go for refuge, go to the Guru for refuge, you think that from all of them comes this light is flowing into you, and light and nectar, and it flows into you and purifies yourself. And likewise, all of the sentient beings that are surrounding you, friends, enemies, strangers, all of the beings throughout samsara visualized in human form. And you think that you see and think that light nectar is flowing out from all of the Gurus, streaming into through the crown of your head, filling up your body, and purifying you of all of the negativities that you've committed in the past, verbally, physically, mentally, and in particular, the sort of negativities that are being purified in this context have to do with misdeeds and misconduct with respect to your Gurus. That is, you've heard teachings from them and ignored those teachings. You've gotten instructions from your Gurus and ignored them or violated them. You've committed all kinds of different kinds of negative actions with respect to Gurus. So in this context, then you think that especially those negative actions that you've performed with respect to Gurus, lying to them, or all of those different things are purified from your body, speech, and mind, from this flowing down of this nectar light.
Oh yeah. Then also tanda chua na shi chen de tunjo jewe mi ba ji dang mi tunjo jai mi ba re che ane de ka se du zi yi xie ge ran xin ju du zi yan zang ane du zi nang yo sa da jia wa lu da sem ni ga la ane shu ba me ba che yin ba de yi xie ge ran xin ge du zi yan zang lu la shu ba ma che sem la ya shu ba yi xie ji ran xin 이시지 라신기 뒤지양 뒤지 리스미 셈나 쇼와라 가와 메바엔산 아니 뒤지 리스미나 쇼베스 뒤제테레 셈나 쇼와다 류라 쇼와 이시기 라신 이장 아니 이시기 라신 셈고 모조 쪽으로 와 이시기 라신을 뒤제다 이시기 라신 아랑 유라 제와
랑유라 케바 So then when one is visualizing this descent of the nectar light, here the word that's translated as nectar or is amrita or dutsi in Tibetan, that word is the nature of gnosis, has as its nature gnosis. So when that flows into us, it has the ability to purify not only our bodies, as say conventional nectar or these could do, but rather it also has the capacity to purify our minds. So we think that flowing into us purifies contamination of both the body and the mind.
Oh yeah, that didn't lama la jamro somi je de la ani sanje la japsu cho senare namu budaya kare tena teni kala ta ta ju na xin cheni teni yang je yu ji dang sanje la japsu cho ni shi za ji teni kala ani je yu ji dang cheba du yang ani da ka so re sanje kunjo idam ji de xi la so ge sang ge sanje dong ani dong xia sum ji xiang a 대화시와 최든 라 소화기 아니 산제 대다기 꿀라 아니 뒤지나가 요새다 잡아 그 뒤엔 봐봐 아니 라시아 섬제 탐제지 뉴스나 마 휴외 아니 미팅제 종이 미바텔라 아니 디시시 요구랑에서 이제 차치바 당원수 맨나야 대다 차줘봐 디시시 요구라 레니지 제다봐 디시시 요구수 상도 제봐 디시시 요구수 다만 줘봐라 아니 구수는 마구발라 소와 오다테 산제라 템비 디리 탐제 안다 타지나 시체니 도고다 소고 안벽거다 바비포가 탐제네 치리데 상원데 타와데 미티지 종이 아니 미바데체 쳐다서는 론도지인데 탐제 패신제 체바티양 아니 가소래 산제 군조기 帮多远的他是吧？啊，让起了头发钱没法钱什么的，帮不他。
So then when does that recitation of the first line of the refuge formula, I go for refuge to the Guru, or in Tibetan or Sanskrit or English or any language, then you do that 21 times and do the visualization as we described, and it purifies our bodies and our minds both. As said, of all of the kinds of negative actions we performed, all of the obscurations that remain or that exist within us, and all of them are completely purified, and our bodies and minds are such that they're able to be transformed and to actualize all of the good qualities of the abandonment of negativity and the attainment of all virtues and realizations, and think that that's occurred for ourselves as well as all of the other sentient beings throughout the world, as we've described that. Then you do the same thing with respect to all of the Buddhas. You say, I go for refuge to the Buddha in either Sanskrit or Tibetan or English, whatever. And then in the visualization there is you think that from the assembly field in front of you, there are in particular all of the various Buddhas and Tathagatas and such that are found in the different practices. So, for example, you have the 7 medicine Buddhas, you have the 35 Buddhas of the confession practice, you have the 5 Tathagatas that are particularly found in the tantric type of practice. All of those different Buddhas, you do the same kind of focusing on them. You think that that stream of light nectar comes out from their body, speech, and mind, and flows into your body and mind, and again purifies you of all of the negativities that you've created with respect to Buddhas in particular. And here, this is the different kinds of negative actions that we performed with respect to Buddhas and Tathagatas are, for example, like wounding a Tathagata even if we haven't done it ourselves directly in this life, if we have sort of like had the thought of doing it, or things like defiling stupas. That's another example of the violation of this. And then again,
Mela de Chichidi or Tenovalaso at the Chichidi.
Mary, do you dictate?
Mela de Chichaki, charge it to a pet in the Turi.
Sangila, Sangigi.
Some songa, don't just have some songa. You go, I get you had the like 100 you are to your body. What a deed. Oh, Gasanga Sanjaton, Judici Lazo, Sanjaki, Custo Adela. 아니 주디시 라조 개상가 산제 동 아니 산제 숨지 성아 대시 취디라서 오다 저유지당 안에 대다그 굴라 되지는 있었다 저와 방에 쳐와라 때네 안에 다중 셔야기 지시시 굴랑 했음지 차총아 지시시 굴라 내리 그 째다 와다 지시시 구수 손도 쳐와다 지시시 구수 다만 줘봐라 소와기 아니 미딘 주체들 내와다 마자야
So here the visualization of this descent of light and nectar light into your body and purifying your body and mind of the negative actions and the defiling obscurations that have been left by those negative actions. Again, the objects here are, you can think of in terms of there's the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon. There's the 7 Buddhas of the medicine Buddha practice, 35 Buddhas of confession. There's a set of 7 Buddhas, many different formulations of all of these different Buddhas. And the different kinds of faults that one has performed would be, for example, wounding a Tathagata, again, whether you've done that or not. Another kind of wicked action that one performed would be like selling images of the Buddha for profit is an evil kind of action, or using them, pawning statues to get a loan, or in any way disrespecting images of Buddhas. All of those ways, stepping over them, leaving them in dirty places, all of that is different ways in which we've incurred defilement through negative actions with respect to the Buddha.
Oh yeah. 다 되네 대제라 산제 군조 그제라 아니 최 군조 최라 군 남은 담아야 세야 아니 최라 접소 가래 되나 되디간라 아니 최군조라 아니 접수 좀해 아니 되지 배장에 미바시에데 가래래서나 아니 제유남지 아니 투지지 제유남지 투지지 아니 과된다 남대 임발라 과남지 임발라 넘버 아니 최부디 넘버 4 샤와 사실 얘가 싸다와 싸다와 대다라 아니 뒤지나가 요서다 제가 주인파 라시아 섬제 탐제지 말류섬라 휴베 토면에 사비 디디치당 체바도 아니 답이 치러 뽕와 아니 수라 류세와 수라 데모스제바 데모르차바 나사메바 수라 다마 줘바 수라 라소제 차바 수라 현당 아니 삼단 제대염도 쳐와야 라소와게다 공수소에 들이 수마레 되는 대다라 저기 아니 철라대비 디리 탐제 아니 두고다 속에는 뭐 안벽고다 밥에 복가탐제는 실전 봐 집어제 류타사 유지 어떤 밥에 탐바데 미디지 정화 집어제 류타사 유지랑 신전지 줄 세다소나 논도지엔다 대 폐시제 체바 투양 아니 고람지 뒤에 또바 타다 아니 라샤 섬제 탐제 그 줄라 계속 냠바치야 돼 아니 다 틴조제 버치야 두시 말에.
So then at the end of that visualization, you think that your body has been, all of this light nectar flowing out from the object of refuge, in this case the Buddhas, enters into your body and the body of all sentient beings surrounding you, and that fills up your body. And the visualization there is that, and in all cases of this practice, is that this light nectar is entering in through the top of your head, is filling up your body, and is forcing out those defilements from the pores of your body. So it's in the form of like thick, oily, black substance coming out from your pores as that light nectar fills up your body and pushes out the defilement. And then after that has occurred, then in the case of with respect to the Buddhas, you think that now I've become purified of all of those negative actions and obscurations, and thus I'm able to actualize the good qualities of the abandonment of negativity and the realizations, all of the achievements that pertain to to a Buddha. Then you do the same kind of visualization with when you say, I go for refuge to the Dharma, you focus then on the volumes of Dharma that you visualized on the thrones in front of all of the gurus and Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and so forth. And focusing on those volumes, you think that from those volumes, again, arises this light nectar which comes into the crown of your head, purifies you of all of the negativities that you've committed with respect to the Dharma. Here there are multiple, again, similar to the kinds of negative actions that we've committed with respect to Buddhas. With respect to Dharma, there are things like, first of all, would be abandoning the Dharma, abandoning it. Then there are other forms of other actions that one performs that are tantamount or negative with respect to Dharma. For example, treating volumes of scriptures in an inappropriate way, just kind of treating them casually, any kind of Dharma text, storing it together with shoes, or any kind of dirty place, any kind of disrespectful place. Using Dharma volumes, treating them as merchandise, selling them, and using them again for profit. All of that. Selling Dharma texts. So doing things like that, selling Dharma texts for profit, leaving them with shoes or other dirty places like that. All of those things are ways in which we've committed negative actions with respect to Dharma. Or like using like spit to turn the pages of Dharma books, that kind of practice that people do when they're turning pages, that kind of thing is also a way in which one creates negative action with respect to Dharma.
Oh yeah, I know. Tunjo.
Yeah, so once one has done that visualization here with respect to Dharma, one thinks that from those volumes, the light nectar enters your body. Again, the same visualization of the negativities that you've committed with respect to Dharma come out of the pores of your body in this sort of black, greasy form, and they flow out. And that purification then, the after effect result of that is that one is now able to actualize all of the realizations that are found within the teaching of the Dharma.
Oh yeah.
So here then we think that through that process of purification, that both ourselves and others, because we're doing this visualization for all of the sentient beings in the universe visualized around us, that we now have the ability to actualize the good qualities that are produced through the actualization of the path of cessation and true cessations and true paths within the noble truths.
Oh yeah. That is I know Gundula just to try it and I'm good Gundula just show 너무 상가야. 다 되니 가려줘나 줘니 다 되는 나시 되니 다 군이 모두 300권에 접수 줘왜 아니 다 군주군조들 지자유 지당 아니 개발도 내랑 상제 차선 바오 컨트롤 최초선미 소다 자와 대달라 아니 뒤지나가 예서다 자와 그 비균밥 아니 라세 선제 탐제 줄리선라 마슈베 토면에서 비디지 지당 개발도 아니 군주기 예차와다 아니 군주라 꾸왔다바다 군주라 참아 채바다 아니 군주도 샤 아니 그 쳐바다 군주 아니 수만라 아니 뒤돌 채바라 소화기 다 군주를 때문에 뒤를 탐제 다 안벽보다 밥이 포가 탐제는 마 실텐데 산에 집바체 미디제와 미디지 처마데 차단송라 논도지에 탐제 폐시 제와다 채바도야 아니 나왔으면 뒤 또바타다 아니 란줄에 제와매
랑돌랑 예배 랑돌랑 예배 겐둘 이 참아디 니마송 건다
미디 좋아해서 김배 같이로 좀 암조 때 쳐보지 미디면 좋아해서 참면 군주기 이해샤와
겐둘 이해샤
군주기 이해샤와 군주로 꾸왔다 봐 아니 대 가서래 군주도 샤고 주바 군주라 부야기 샤 군주도 샤 쳐봐 아니 다 군주라 맞아봐 다 아니 수마라 뒤도 샤봐 수마라 뒤에서 또만 보고 와대 마부와 샤봐 수마라 뒤도 샤봐
수마라
뒤에서 아니 수마라 최초수마라 노정구나 남래 여러봐 가서 좋아시세가 아니 중보라 또만 더 최초수마라 보고 또만 보여 여러봐 최초수마라 뒤도 샤봐
되니
야
디샤르갈로 좀 맞아 디샤마 니마송 카와
아니 고는 맞다 지카들 말라
So then one does the visualization with respect to the Sangha, when one says, I go for refuge to the Sangha, whether it's in, again, Sanskrit or Tibetan or another language, then you focus in on the bodhisattvas, the dakas, dakinis, the pratyeka buddhas, the arhats that are in the assembly field in front of you, likewise the dharma protectors and so forth, and guardians. All of them, you focus on them, and you say, when I go for refuge to the Sangha, then you do the same visualization as is described previously, and you think that all of the negative actions and the obscurations that you've created through wrong kinds of behavior with respect to the Sangha are purified through this, through that light nectar flowing down into your body, and all of that is going out in the form of, again, this sort of black, dirty substance coming out of your pores. So here then, the kinds of negative actions that we perform in particular to the Sangha are such as causing divisions among the Sangha, creating divisions among them, criticizing the Sangha, when we criticizing the Sangha, stealing the property or taking property that belongs to the Sangha is another example of this, and then things sort of interfering with the performance of the offerings to guardians and protectors, those rituals that we do where there's offerings of tormas to the protectors. If one interferes with that, this would also be an example of the kind of negative action we perform with respect to the Sangha. And then, so we visualize that this descent of light and nectar goes out and purifies ourselves and the bodies of all of the sentient beings surrounding us, and then
oh yeah, 아니 군대지 연체와 군대들이 샤 초바 샤 초 군디라 샤도 포베 제 초바 아니 군디라 참아 쳐봐 아니 군디라 꾸왔다봐 아니 최종 수말라 뒤돌 차봐 차봐라 소하게 아니 다 냐와타다 마찬해.
So all of those are the faulty kinds of activity that we can do with the Sangha, causing divisions, doing things to split the Sangha up into different factions, stealing, taking things that have been offered to the Sangha for our own use, that have been given to the Sangha collectively, maybe for ourselves individually, even if we are monks and nuns, or if one's a layperson actually using the property that belongs to the Sangha improperly. Saying, sort of speaking in a way which is disparaging of the Sangha is another example of this. And then again, interfering with the performance of the offering of torma to the protectors is another example of this.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's on this one.
Yeah. Well, I've missed in all of these cases. When one has purified oneself of these negativities, then one thinks that within oneself and all of the sentient beings as well, that one's lifespan is increased, that one's good qualities are now expanded, and you've received the empowering blessings from the beings that you've addressed in this way.
Oh yeah, then it tunjo jawa de lawa sumji ju toba churunji lawa dingi lawa sherabji lawa sumji dubi sumbi ani toba dila jawa me ade tunjo jawa de tunjo metunjo jawa da tunjo jawa ni yawa da.
So there's sort of two sides to this practice. That is, on the one hand, in all of these cases, one is purifying yourself of negativities, negative actions and the obscurations deriving from them that you and all sentient beings have created from beginninglessly with respect to the objects of refuge. So that's the sort of purification side of this. And then on the positive side, here there's the production of expansion of one's lifespan, good qualities, the receipt of the empowering blessings from the beings that you've addressed, as well as the specific kinds of realizations and accomplishments that are pertain to each of the different objects of refuge. And then here, with respect to the Sangha in particular, by the after effect of having purified yourself of these negativities, on the positive side, one is now endowed with the capacity to actualize the three higher trainings of ethical conduct, meditative concentration, and wisdom.
Oh yeah, that did 아니 러린 잠배 샤론을 숨바 나신 전에 배자자가기 차신 나신 아니 야 라마이다 군조선라 접수 초세가 군조선라 투몬데 접수 줘야지 아니 라마이다 군조선라 접수 줘세가 데디마 사디 아니 저기 탐자라 저기 탐자라 저기 남지 구선 아니 다 저기 마사오면 발라 아니 디지나가 예서다 잡아고 기업 토면에서 비디스 탐자다 제와도야 라마 군조선라 땜바기 아니 송가라 땜바기 디리 탐자 아니 두고다 수고나 뭐 안보고다 법이 보거나 말 치르템바 류타사유지랑 신자도 유화당 아니 차단소나 론도지엔데 제 페시 찍바체 제와도 아니 라마 군조선지 아니 제와도 수박이 아니 메가치야 말에
So then there's 건락이 녀마송도 당부 그사 수 룩수디 수레 룩수 잠부시용 So this then in addition to the way we've done it up to this point, there's the tradition as it's explained in the instruction of Manjushri, that text. And there following that, then after you've gone for refuge to the Guru, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha individually, you do the same thing, go for refuge to the Guru, the chosen deity, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, all of these collectively at the same time. I'm using the word chosen deity for idam, the Tibetan word idam. So one goes for refuge to them all collectively, and it works in the same way. You visualize this flow of light nectar from them all in mass, coming into you and flowing into your body and purifying your body and your mind of all of the the negative actions you've created, all of the pollution that you've incurred through, and all of the obscurations that you've accumulated through any kind of negative action with respect to any of those holy beings. And then you think that after that has all been purified from your body and mind, that as before, you now you've achieved within yourself the ability to, your lifespan will increase, your good qualities will increase as well, and you also actualize within yourself the ability to produce within yourself all sentient beings in the course of this visualization, all of the good qualities of the abandonments, realizations, and as well as the empowering blessings that derive from all of these beings collectively.
Oh yeah. Oh, that take jamro to some che and it is a person che that he la and the Sanje Cheto Soji Chona la Chajubado Dani Jepsuchi, Dagi Jisoji Sonamji, and the Drola Pencha Sanje drew a show said the young Jamro Simji Sheting body. That's Kasashua Nashin, and the Sanje Dan, Chedan, Gudin, that top so any Dejavtan. That you tell me, Gakaston, Sanja Cheto Soji Chona la Chajubado Dani Jepsuchi, Sekala, Jamdi Jusa Damikala. Chanjubado Dani Jepsuchi, Sekala, and the Yasusela, Dag Sevatian, Tidan Dag Singati, Nasa Kukuar, Tata Kanangasa, Datian, and the Caso Rawan to Chuba Mayimba, or Rawan to Martin. Rawan to Matuba, Srikala, and Rawan with Tomba, Samukala, Tony Tobi, and Samoton de Gala, Samotoman to be sheriff Simba. Young girl, in da said down, and Tanya being some Tetaming or Samotan, my imbacha, da town, Rawan to Matrubaki, and then da Matrubaki, Dani. And the Chanju, Tutiness, Dan Chanju Bado Dani, Japsuchi, Dagi, Chanju Mato Bado Dag, Japsuchi, Chi, Sigantigi, and a Jamrok Che. The net Dagi Jiso Jivi, Sonamji, Segala, Dagi Jiso, Segala, and a Jimbale Chuma, Sudum Lachuma, Gombale Chuma, Segala, Sogun de Dela, and a Sonam Chavi, Shisubot Dungo, Jimba Sudum Gomba. Oh, Gombale Chumi, Dagi Jiso Jivi, So Namji said, and it's so said, Casore, Suguduji Chodan, Jizo la Sonam Chodan, Suguduji Jizo la Ishi Cho, Segangala, Dagi Jiso Jivi, So Namji, So Deda, Chiduja, Samja Tamji, turned to Tojalana by Andaba, Joy Sanja, Comban Toba, Tobaki, Gurchuachi, Yonga Show, Yambati, Gurchuachi, Zola Penja Sanja Druba Show, say, oh, the Digi, any Semjiche.
So then, once you've done that, you do the next kind of refuge which combines refuge and bodhicitta, which are coordinated or combined together into a single formula. And that's found in the next verse in the preliminary practices text, where it says that I go for refuge until I achieve awakening. I go to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the best of assemblies. Until I achieve awakening, I go for refuge. And by the merit that I've created through generosity and so forth, in order to benefit living beings, migrating beings, may I accomplish Buddhahood. So this verse then, the first part of it is going for refuge together with the determination to achieve perfect awakening for the sake of all sentient beings. And here where it says, the word in here says I, or I myself, it says myself. Go for refuge, and the self here has to be understood. Should be understood not in its conventional sense or the way it ordinarily appears. The self appears typically as if it has a kind of autonomous or self-sufficient character. And one has to, in this context, or the best way to do this, is to realize that the self is not autonomous. It doesn't exist autonomously, and it's empty of that kind of autonomy that falsely appears with respect to it. So here one is thinking thinking of the self as not simply in the way it ordinarily, conventionally appears to us, but rather in the way it actually exists, devoid of any of the autonomy that falsely appears to us. So with that understanding of the self, then you say the formula, I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the best of assemblies. And likewise, in the next two lines, it says, by the merit that I've created through generosity and so forth. Again, the self here is to be understood in the same way. Self or I are synonymous here. It says in the English I, but in the Tibetan it says self. Same thing. The self is not autonomous, but even though it appears that way, it doesn't have any of the kind of autonomy that we falsely ascribe to it. So if we understand the self properly, then when we do this, our going for refuge as well as our development of bodhicitta in this context which are the method side of the path. These will be then governed by the wisdom side of the path, which is the wisdom recognizing the absence of autonomy in things, emptiness. And so here then it says, by the merits of generosity and so forth. Generosity would include, or is the first part of the 6 perfections: generosity, ethical conduct, forbearance, and so forth. And then, et cetera, where it says et cetera, generosity and so forth, that then includes the wisdom side of the path, this wisdom that understands emptiness, the lack of autonomy in things. And so then we say, I go for refuge until I achieve, may I achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. And in that way, the refuge and the bodhicitta are combined.
Oh, yeah. 아니 다그 제소 지위 초남지 졸라 편지 상제 주와 쇼 세가라 진바다 추른다 공발래 추요 공발 아니 그wan 딜라잖아 치드셔와 삼제 탐제도 톱잘라는 모양다 봐 저왜 상제 요 공바 토바시 영화 쇼 냠보이 아니 셈제바 텔라 때네 아니 라마 투여 안보 투시도 제네 라마 셈제바 텔라 때네 라마 투여 안보 투시도 제네 아란다 니와치 체데 아니 라라 팀바 라라 팀바야 자라 라라 아니 투여 안보 그걸 주하면라체.
So then, when we've done that formula in that way, this combines within it both the causes for the production of the collection of merit, which is subsumed by generosity and the first perfections among the 6 perfections, and we've also combined within this practice the primary cause of the collection of gnosis, which is the development of the wisdom that understands reality. So in this way, we've joined those two together in the process of going for refuge and generating bodhicitta. So then once we've done that, developed bodhicitta, we think that, and gone for refuge and developed bodhicitta in that way, we think that this has delighted the guru in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni in front of us. And we think that from this Guru Buddha Shakyamuni in front of us, that the identical form arises, splits off, comes out of the Guru Buddha in front of us, and descends upon us and enters. It descends upon us, and that transforms us into the Guru Buddha Shakyamuni.
Oh yeah, ane rang tuye ambo kuri chuwe, ane kule se chöde, ane riru soso la pa chöde, da 가진 그 송전에 세 시비 라신제 최대参加完了的参与동안 세워다. 저个라신지 최대 안参加完了그 장 안에 가서 안에参与동안 세워다. 그래서 안에 가서 쳐를 남자기 라신 저와게 가라 전도디 그练习 못 동안 세워라 써와 안에 저랑기 아니 리루소스 동아 대답하 장네 아니 리루소소 아니 소소양 아니 라남베 안다바 저베 사제지 공방 토아 메디카도나 네라 포베 네지 트마자제 네 타바람 타바 네 탐자 타신당 아니 주 탐제 아니 사제지 아니 라신도 좋아하면 제대라 니지 치마잖아 리주 내종 세대 다데 아니 가서래 가서 리주 내종 안에 다바 삼문이 봐도 심바래.
So then we think that with this visualization of ourselves as the Guru Buddha Shakyamuni, then in this form, Munindra is the name actually, but it's a form of Shakyamuni Buddha. Then we think that from ourselves in that form, light rays are emitted out, and these light rays have have the ability to alleviate all of the sufferings of sentient beings throughout the universe. And we think that those light rays, when they go out and they strike the entirety of the universe, the environment, as well as the inhabitants in the environment, that they purify both the environment and the inhabitants of the universe. And we do this with respect to each of the different realms of existence, thinking that the light rays, when they strike the beings in the hot hells, they have the light rays have this character of being able to alleviate the torments of burning and so forth that are experienced by hell beings in the hot hells. When they hit the beings in the cold hells, they're able to warm them and free them from the freezing sensation and that they're experiencing. And then likewise up with the hungry ghosts, it provides them with food and drink. Animals, it frees from their confusion that they're suffering from. Likewise, do the same thing with respect to humans and the demigods and gods. All of the beings in the universe, then, the light rays function to purify them of all of the different kinds of sufferings they're experiencing. And likewise, the light rays hitting the environment itself purify it and transform it so that it becomes completely pure. And this practice then, and likewise, all of the 6 forms of sentient beings are transformed into Buddhas as a result of this light hitting them. And this is called, this practice is called the purification of the nejong.
네 탐제 답이시다. 주 탐제 합의함. 안에 산제리 좋아 리루기 뛰는데다 타네. 내가 주지 뛰는데다 타네. 네 안에 답이신다. 주 합의함 산제수 좋아 매와.
So we think then that we're transforming the environment into a pure land, and all of the beings that inhabit the environment into Buddhas in this process. And so this is called the purification of the 6 classes of beings and their abodes.
Oh yeah, then 다 대제라 단단히 타제 답이 신당. 랑 안에 토양 버사요 고려 요새 저달에 리루기 내제자 단에 내 탐제 아니 답이시다 주탐제 아니 가서 합의라 줘라서나 안돼 줘야 말이야 단단 매와 잠마도 아니 어디 리루네 좀 투어데 매와 잠마도 아니 다 랑가 춤매바 이다테 가리를 렘바레스나 아니 semja 탐제라 니리 차단다 마자와기 니리 차단다 마자와기 렘바 이장 디제라 아니 다 참여시 공부하진 바래 현배상바 참바지 인지 현지 동아섬 현지 츠바가와디 semja 현념 당님 소 전에 domjungla 소와나시 디제라 아니 참여시 공부하대.
So then we do this as visualization, but and visualize it as clearly as possible. But we, at the conclusion of this, we realize that this is merely something that we've visualized, and we've used our imagination to do this, and we haven't actually purified the environment and all of the sentient beings within it. We've only done that through employing our imagination. So then after that, you think, how is it that we can actually do this? How can I? You're still visualizing yourself as Shakyamuni Buddha in that form, and you're still visualizing the environment and all of the beings within it as being purified into a Buddha. The environment purified into a Buddha field, all the beings as being Buddhas. But you think that you realize I haven't actually done this. This is simply imagination. So then you think, how do I actually accomplish this? And then with that sort of attitude and the wish to do it, then you perform the four immeasurables. You develop the love, compassion, and equanimity in the way that it's given in formulated in the four immeasurables.
Oh yeah, 아니 다 참여 당년 지대 가나 지당 심자도 이제 대화다 대화다 참바 참여된 거라 요 연구 아래 연구관을 조치당 가서 진전에 요한 나신 전에 아니 당년 참여된 거라 송고 아래 관련이잖아 아니 당부 당년 참여 맞게 발라 아니 대화를 된 거 잡아 깨서면 봐 이제 그러와 니를 차단한 자유 당년 맞게 발라 대화다 된 거 잡아당 아니 동아단 잔적이 이제 깨서면 봐 이상 토마 당년 참여 거라 연구가 아래 다 초가 가셔라 아니 잡아 참여 거라 요 아래데 도시 말에.
So now, in the way this is done in the preliminary practices formulation of this, is that you do you generate limitless, measureless equanimity first, a sort of equalization of all sentient beings. Now, in other texts or other practices, very often it's formulated such that one develops a limitless love first. But in this particular formulation, it's the practice of equalization or equanimity, limitless equanimity is produced first because it has a special reason in that in order to develop a limitless love for all sentient beings, there's no way to do that until one has developed a sense of equanimity with respect to them.
Oh yeah. 인자 참여 공부당 안에 산제 최소마 고매디 그때 잠들었을 적 과바디 라마처방 무시나라 요아 말데 냠len 치가라 도스마 안 소야기 샤시 도스야 말에 라마처바디 끼끼 배잖아라 디와 말아와 내가 양아 소소 냠len 치디 가라 안에 잠들어 되네 산제 최소마를 잠들어 셈지 되네 삼에
So now, in the actual Guru Puja text itself, that ritual or practice, it doesn't have these four immeasurables in it. But actually, when one recites it and publicly and such, then it's not done in this way. But when one is practicing this practice, then one includes this meditation on the four immeasurables in this context. After one has gone for refuge and developed refuge together with bodhicitta in the way that we've just discussed it.
ਸਮ제담제 니린 차단다 자나 지마롱 차와 주지 차와 다게 자오 대다 천유와 라마리 치제라도 소 세가라 참여레레라야 참여 시den도 전에 ਸਮ제천데 니린 차단다 자나 지마롱 야바디 두바 참여 차와 주지 세데 멤버 참여 차원 다기 차오 사야간데 라삼 참에 대다 주님과 라만의 진제 럽주소 사야간라 안에 손대 참에시 치차대 안다 참에를 공부하다야 참에 시대도 전에 공매
재미 시든도 공야.
참에 시대하고 소 점점 일이 차단되잖아 지마롱 자와 주지 자와 다기 차오 대다 주님과 신다 자나 지마롱 냥바디 두바 참에 자월 주지 세대 멤버 참에 아니 자원 다기 차오 세대 라섬 참에 대다 주님과 라마를 시제라도 세대 손대 참에 손대 참에
So now when we do this in the formula, then it's given here in the text. It's translated as follows: How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings could remain impartial, completely unbiased, with neither attraction nor angered repulsion, not close to some, not distant from others. May they always remain in this way. May I cause them to remain in this way. Bestow on me, please, your inspiring strength, O divine holy gurus, to bring this about in this way. So here then, the first line of this, it says, may all sentient beings be free from partiality, viewing some as distant and some as close, and why shouldn't they be able to abide in that kind of equanimity? That first part of it is the intention, or the aspiration that one has wishes to accomplish in this. Then may they abide in that. May they abide in that. The second line is then may they So there's four things going on here. Then the first one is the sort of the intention that one has in what one is yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the English for this. Aspiration. That's what aspiration. Muba is the well, muba actually is like aspiration here. Muba, yeah. Muba. Dumba. Here, okay, we'll say the aspiration for what one is seeking is in the first line. May they be that way is the wish. I should do that. I should make them abide in that way. I myself should make them abide in that way would be the superior intention. And then the last is may the guru that is able to enable me to do that, please empower and bless me to be able to do that, is the request that one is making here. And that applies to all of the three subsequent requests as well. They're all divided into those four parts.
대화단 대회 주단 대나 지마롱 세게 안에데 가서로 참바 참여를 와 대화단 대회 주나 대나 지마롱 양바데 안에 참바 참여 되기 안에 가서로 듬바 참여지 안에 대한바 주지 세야데 안에 명바 참여지 대한바 다기 차오 살라사 참여지 제다 주는 나마를 지게라도서 손대 참여 지바체.
So the same thing applies in the second one. May all sentient beings, why wouldn't it be wonderful if all sentient beings had happiness and the causes of happiness? So that's the intention that one has there. They should have it. They should have it is the aspiration that one has. I should make it such that they do possess that, is the superior intention that one has. And please, the Guru has the ability to enable me to do that. Please bless me is the actual request as such. And then that's with respect to love. And then the same thing applies to the subsequent ones.
Oh yeah, that did chamba chemeche. That didn't ninja chemedela, some jetam the Dungada Junga Juda Chana Chimarong, said a ninja chemedela, Chemeshi and Duba Cheme. Ane Tower Juji, member Cheme, Tower Dagri Chao, Lasan Cheme, Teda Chinuba Lama Lechi love to saw, said, and also the Cheme Chubache.
Same thing applies with respect to compassion. It says here that may all sentient beings, wouldn't it be, why shouldn't all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering? May they be free from suffering. I should make it so that they are free from suffering. And I request the Guru who is able to, who has the ability to enable me to do that, the Guru Deva, to bless me, empower me to be able to do that. So that has the same for the
oh yeah, that Tijela, that Gawa Chame, said Gawa Chame Singade, Domjula Swana, she sent it Simba Gawa de Sienla Dewa Chuna Rani Simba Tato Meba, Sien Dewa Chuna, Simba de Gawa Chanigana. Or then it, oh, subject to the Torida Tabi Dewa Tamata Mandana Chimaru. Only Mindrawa Chushi, Mindrawa Tagicha, Tada Chenua, say Gala, Dumba Chame, Mindrawa Tagicha, said Mindrawa Chuji, say Gala, Mabasame, Mindrawa Tagicha, Tada Chenua Lamalechi, so the Same say Gala, on Gawa, said Torida Tabi Gawa, Gawa Chuna, and it's somebody, and it's somebody. And a Gawache, she Simba Gawade is also on it.
She did Simba Gawade. So then the next one, the last one is sympathetic joy. And that says, as it says in the text here, why shouldn't all sentient beings have the not be separated from the noble happiness of heaven and liberation? May they not be separated from that. I should do it such that they are not separated from that. And I beseech the Guru Deva, the divine Guru, to bless me to be able to do that. So it has the same four parts to it. And here then in the Samvarodaya Tantra, it's explained that sympathetic joy refers to a kind of satisfaction that one feels when one sees the happiness of others. That is, when we see others experiencing happiness, instead of having envying them their happiness, we should, if we feel joy for the happiness that they're experiencing, then that is what is meant by this sympathetic joy here.
Oh yeah, that's Dagi Chini Save Geva de Dendan Joa Kunaka Cheba Jijan Losandra Baye Dembe Morendo Josa Beji Susheme Dota Rirale Chini de Jamba Sanje Shindo Mede Bovaye Drogananda Shenla Cheba Idan Guru Rana Mendrala Kani Atayami Danny Ring.